immediately start walking in as soon as you start it. This is a setup procedure for our pop-up trailer. This is a 2010 Jayco series over here. It's a 1206 model, and we have new tires on here. This is electrical outlet if you're plugged in. These are lights here. So the first thing you do after you take it off your vehicle, after you take it off your tow vehicle, is you want to make sure that it's level. So if you come around here, you'll see there's a level on the side, and it's just a little off, so I'm going to raise it a little bit to raise it, try to get a little more level. Tell me if it's level.
It's going back the other way now. Go back down.
Okay. And here we go. So it's more or less level. And we come over, the second step as we do is we turn on the propane. So the propane will allow you to run the heater if you need to. It also allow you to cook. So we have a grill on the outside. We'll show you how to set that up. It also runs the refrigerator. So the refrigerator runs three ways. It runs via gas, or it runs via electrical. And electrical, it runs via plug-in. It can run via DC, which is battery powered, but if you run it by the battery, you'll blow out the battery in just a couple hours, and we'll have to replace the battery and charge you. So don't run it off of DC. Only run it off of the propane, or run it off a plug-in from an external source. So the gas is on, and then the power is, you want to put in the green 30 amp fuse. This assumes that you're not going to plug it in. If you plug it in via an external source, if you had a campsite that has a plug-in, you won't need to run it off the battery. You only need to run it off the battery if you're dry camping, you have no water, no electrical hookups, then you can run the lights off the battery basically. So you put the fuse in here. It goes right in here. You get a little spark, that's good, shows that it's running. And then you seal the cap. Okay, so that's the third step, is plugging in the battery if you need it. The other thing is, I just want to point out for hookup, is this is a 7-pin flat hookup. We have an adapter for a 4-pin hookup as well, but generally the 7-pin adapter is better for it. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to come back to the front, and over here you have a jack for the stabilizer bars, as well as a jack to raise the whole thing up, and we'll show you how to do that after. So the stabilizer bars are here, and you don't want to put any real pressure. They just stabilize it. They won't allow you to raise the trailer. If you try to raise a trailer with it, you'll bend these. So this won't level it side to side. You only level it front to back, not side to side. These are just there for stabilizing. So there's 4 of these. So just put a little bit of weight on it, just so basically, when you're on the beds, it won't tip one way or the other. If you're way out on the edge of the bed, after it's pulled out, it will tend to tip over. So this will just prevent it from tipping over. Okay, that's the fourth thing you do. And next thing you want to do is you want to raise it up. And in order to raise it, there's 2 clips on this side. 1, 2. And there's 5 clips over here. 1, 4 clips. 2, 3, 4. So on this side of the trailer is really the business side. This is what powers the refrigerator. So there's set up here, the white is showing you it's set to off. Then you can set it to gas, and I'm going to show you in a separate video how to set it up for gas. AC if you're plugged in, and then DC should never be turned to DC. You'll break the battery. So, and I'll show you in a separate video how to do that in more detail, how to get that running. This is the electrical hookup. So you also want to hook it in. If you're at a campsite, usually they're 240, these big 3-prong. We also have an adapter in the bag, which I'll show you, which will allow you to hook into a regular outlet. That's over here. So we have these bags all set up for you. This is for the bike rack, which we have up there. These are the cables and the straps that allow you to strap down the wheels. This is the fuses. So inside there's a fuse box, you know, all the different amp fuse box, as well as the registration and owner's manual is in here. This is a step-by-step instruction. So if you missed something from the video, you can always look at this, and this will show you step to step how to set it up, how to break it down. And generally you should, you know, allow yourself 15 to 30 minutes to do this. So I've done it a lot. I get pretty good at it, but still, you know, take your time with it. Don't rush. You'll end up breaking something. Here's a trailer inventory list that we have, as well as general operating instructions for it here. Just a note about the battery. So the battery, when fully charged, will read between 12.6 and 12.7, and it shouldn't get below 12.2. If it gets below 12.2, the battery is going to need to be replaced because it's going to be damaged. So when you're running things, you know, it will drop below 12.2. But when it's off, right, when everything's off, it shouldn't be below 12.2. So basically you can run the heater for, you know, take the chill out, run it for 15 minutes or so, but it can't be run all night. It can only be run a short time in the morning and at night just to take the chill out. If you're running off of AC, you know, a cable, of course you can run it all night and won't be any problem. The battery is there mainly just for the lights and occasionally for the heater. All right, so I'm just going to put this stuff back before we roll it up. So this is the front storage area as well. So in here we have the awning cables. We have a couple jacks, which you want to take out too before you set it up. This is for the back. We have dustpan and some Clorox wipes. All right, so we'll go back to roll it up. Just for your information, this is the hot water heater, which that can only be run off of AC. Generally, no one's ever used this, so you really don't have to worry about that.
What about the specs?
Here's the spare tire. So the spare tire, there's a lug wrench in that front compartment I just showed you. So that will take off the bolts. You need to use your own car jack to be able to raise it. These don't come with a jack for the trailer itself. So you'd want to put it under the frame, not under the axle, if you have to jack it up. We've never had to replace a tire. I put on new tires, so you know, I've done it once, but generally never had a flat. The spec on this, as far as weight, over here, it has a maximum gross vehicle weight of 3,450 pounds. Down here, it will show you the total weight of the vehicle. So it's 2,529 empty, but we've added about 150 pounds of improvements. We put in a better battery, we put in a really nice thick mattress and a few other things. So really the empty weight of this is about 2,700 pounds. So to tow it, you want to make sure you have something that can take, tow at least 2,700 pounds to be able to tow this. Okay, so at this point you have the battery on, you have the gas on, you pulled out the jacks, pulled out everything you need, and you make sure you got all the clips on both sides off, and then you can jack it up. You go in here, there's a little square peg in there, it's hard to see, and then you jack it up. Over here, there's this cable. So when just before this gets tight is when you want to stop. So this is your guide. If you go beyond this, you'll rip it off and you'll come off the tracks. You don't want to go too high, but if you don't go high enough, you won't be able to get the door in. So you put this on just so there's a little bit of tension on it. Okay, so it's just a little bit of tension. So next step is you want to take out the two beds, the fold out. So you generally want to try to pull as close as you can to the middle. And then, oops, before you do that, you want to put these on. These are the bars. So you'll see here that we have a marked red. And the red goes into the red here. And right up there. And the red to the red. And it just slides right out. And then you want to put these two stabilizer bars on. Okay, white. See, it has a white tip. Goes in there. This section here, that needs to be pointed kind of down, not up. Otherwise it scrapes into the wood. You put your back under it, you lift up and put it in. Okay, the white section with this, again, tip pointing down. Put your back under it and put it right in place. This needs to just be put over a little bit, not too snug or anything, but you want it over the edges. Otherwise it won't come up. So just about like this should be fine. Okay, this is the one we have with the extra thick mattress. This is a nice 8-inch foam mattress. And again, pull this out. So this is a little heavier than the other mattress. So when you pull it out, you don't want to push down at all. You want to kind of lift it up a little bit. You don't want it to get too much weight on the. Okay, just let it toss it down. Then you put up these. It goes here. Again, this side, this thing right here is pointed down. Put your back under it, lift up, push it down. Push up. it down. Okay. You want to take this out again. Here. A little bit here. Then the third thing you have to pull out is the bump out. Well, the bump out just slides right out, and you're good there.
Feet.
And we have these extra feet for support because we have that extra thick mattress. We have these extra little stabilizers that we put in there. It's a knob here. You just lift up on it. That pulls up. Pull it, and then you just use this handle. So sometimes what will happen is, it might not be tall enough, so you have to use a piece of wood. So the wood will generally be right inside that front cover. You can put that down. And you just go up. Okay, and I'll do the second one after the video because I want to try to do for speed. So you want to take this out after you get the three bump outs out. You want to take out the door. It goes right here. And underneath here, they have this hook in here, which allows you to slide the door right into here, and then you can just snap it up here. That way it's out of the way and stays dry. Okay, we have an extra trash can in here. We have liners in there. Here's your step, comes out. Okay, here's the sink. So the sink, you fold it down. See how you want to be careful when you put this down that you don't clip it or the water hookup will not work. So just kind of fold it down a little bit. And that should be good for the water hookup. The couch, you just pull from the bottom here and lift it up from back. And there's your couch. So in order to get this up under the mattress, you keep these bars and you take this end here and you insert it in here and up. And then you stick this in here. We have an extra sheet that we give you when using it for the mattress. The table. So this goes in here. Up. And in like that. This is the battery, so that shows you it's a 12.6 charge. It's full. These are for that's for a cigarette lighter, and this is for iPad or general charger for your phone. Under here we have a fan, and the fan you could just, it's battery operated, but you can just clip it to the bar and then you have a fan. We have two fans in there. Set this up. In here. This goes up. Okay, now for this is the other piece. Take these cushions off. I'm going to pull out the stove. Here's an extra stool we have. If you're going to set up the awning, you'll need that. So the stove comes out here. Put that out here. You want to grab that bar? It's in the right. Yeah, bar. That's the bar. So you slide this in here on the track, goes right through. You take this bar, you slide it in here, right in here, and then down here is where you set. You push this forward and push it in, kind of hard. So I didn't get it in hard enough. I pulled it, but it didn't go. There. So I'm pulling on it to make sure it's in far enough. Underneath here, there's this lever, which you got to turn to make sure the gas is going to the stove. So that's on up here. And simply just open it up. Okay, and then you have your lighter stuff there. You do need a light stick to turn this on. Back in here to set up the table. Pull this out. Has a strap. Pull it out. Up. Strap off. Up. Actually, we usually turn this around. These just get folded up like that. That's the short one. I think on the other side. Okay, as far as the safety, there's a fire extinguisher by the door. There is a smoke detector up here. There's a fuse box here. There is, this is for the pump. So if you generally don't use that, but if you're going to fill up the water tank, then you can use the pump. But if you're just hooking in to the water, I'll show you outside. So you just connect the water, and you need a lead-free white hose or a hose that's made for drinking water, and that just gets connected to the campsite water if you're at a campsite that has it. And then you want to unscrew this. Make sure you unscrew this so the water has a place to go. You put a hose on there and just let it drain out to wherever you want. So that's how you hook up the water. There is a water tank underneath, so if you really need water, no one's ever done it but you can fill up the water tank, and you can use that pump to pump the water from basically underneath to use it for drinking water. No one does that. Okay, so that's it for the Jayco 1206. Oh yeah, my wife, good thing my partner here has told me you also need to seal this down. The idea is so water doesn't get in here. It just has to be high enough so when it drips down, the water just comes down here and doesn't get in there. You want to fold these up so like your pillows and stuff don't get caught. So you want to do this one first, and then this Velcro's in there like that. Just do this side, make it nice and snug, pull it down. Same thing over here. All around. If you're not tall, you can always use that stool. Fortunately, I'm pretty tall. This. Okay, over here. The bump out also has this around here, so you snap that in there. Close down here. A lot of times we forget on a tear down to pull that out, but that'll be a separate video. Just make sure you unbutton that. This gets here, snapped in. And lastly, the door. So the door gets folded up here. It has a little snap here to unsnap it. Unsnap it both sides. Then over here, it has this. This has to be turned. And it'll slide out of that little bracket. I rest it on my head like this a little bit. And as I slide it forward, slide it forward, and it fits on the outside. Velcro up there. Okay, do you need Velcro it? No, I don't have it in yet. Here.
There we go. It needs to be back.
Yep. Okay, push it back. Push it back. Okay, are you okay now?
Yeah. Can you lift it?
Okay. Still good?
Yeah. Lift up. So this, lift up again. This has to be behind.
Okay.
So this has to come up.
Let's
so
raise up. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. So this
Okay, you in?
metal part goes inside this white.
Are you in?
Now I am.
Okay. So now you Velcro it. Okay, you come in for a minute. Okay, your door has these little clips here, and you just slide this in. You have to kind of push. It's hard to get a little bit just to seal it. And these little pegs here, just you can turn these pegs to hold it in place. And yeah, so here are the light switches for here. These are LED lights, so they're pretty efficient. They won't drain the battery much. And that should, look at me, that should be it for the 1206-2010 pop-up setup. We'll do a separate video for the teardown and maybe another video too for the hookups, but I think this gets you 95% of the way there. I'll leave contact. Please leave me any questions or comments below. Thank you.